Hi guys, thanks for tuning in for the second edition of the newsletter. This week is the first week of the new launch for the Les Mills classes. If you've taken part in one of the classes already this week, by the time we get this, please feel free to give me some feedback on that, what you think of the new release, the ups and the downs. There are always going to be things that could be a little bit better in every release that we do, and obviously that's always great feedback that we can pass on to the guys in Les Mills in New Zealand. Those that haven't done it yet, there is some new stuff that's in there that we haven't done in the past that do make it a nice challenging workout. So hopefully over the next week or so you will get a chance to participate, take part in it, and hopefully really experience that. This week what I wanted to look at was helping you guys with stuff that's going to be the big bang for your buck things, little things that you can change that will have a profound impact on you. Most diet advice normally starts with first thing in the morning. They'll look at breakfast and what we can do going on from there. Obviously it's a case of that if the night's not gone well, you're not normally going to start the morning well, which is where I'm going to look at starting with today. So guys, when it's a case of that we're looking at going to bed, we get a lot of these things going around where it's don't have carbs after 6 o'clock in the evening or some other random time that someone might have thrown out. Part of the reason for this, we have to look at everyone as an individual. And it is fine if you're a fitness competitor, you're sitting at 10% body fat, and you have carbs at 8 o'clock in the evening and it helps you to sleep brilliantly. That's great. If you're not a fitness competitor and you're sitting at 25-30% and you can't handle a big intake of carbohydrates into your bloodstream, if you have those carbs at 8 o'clock in the evening, you may well find you have a restless night and that you even possibly wake up in the evening because your body's struggling to get this blood glucose, the sugar that's in your bloodstream, actually down to a more manageable level. As a result, your body will essentially wake you up to try and do some activity to try and bring those levels down, which is not good if you're trying to rest and rejuvenate yourself ready for the next day. So it's important to remember what we do the night before has a profound impact on how we will start our next day. One of these big things, apologies for the infographic. I drew this beforehand thinking, hey, it's a massive whiteboard and it's going to look amazing, and it's not really that big. So what I will do is in the news that I'll hopefully try and make sure that I can get a picture of this so you can actually then see it and have a reference to it back later. So this is what we call a circadian rhythm. It's basically looking at the natural rhythm of your body. This is the reason why when you go away on work trips, you come back from long haul flights and feel really, really tired. Okay guys, so this is our circadian rhythm. So our scale going on here looks at 6 o'clock in the morning through to around about 3 to 6 o'clock in the afternoon here, and then through once again 2 a.m. into 6 o'clock in the morning. Now I said I wanted to look at helping you with the nighttime portion. So you can probably see there are two peaks on the graph. What's not quite so clear is the colors. What the first peak here is in black and the second peak here is red. So they are representing two different hormones in the body. So your first peak, your black line, is representing cortisol, which is a stress hormone, which wants to be high in the morning and get us prepared and ready for the day. As we go later on the day, we want our cortisol levels to be nice and low. We don't want to be stressed, we don't want to be hyperactive, we want to be relaxing and calm before we go to bed so we can get a good night's sleep and be nice, restful and prepared for the next day. Now growth hormone, which is our red line, is our second peak here. That wants to be higher at nighttime. One, growth hormone will help us with metabolizing fatty tissue, but it's also going to stimulate a lot of our repairing process, making new tissue. So it can be a big indicator of anabolic processes in the body. So anabolic process, making new tissues, will help to drive our metabolism up, which is why trainers like myself will keep going on about how great it is for everyone, men, women, young and old, to take part in doing a structured resistance program, because it will help you to be more anabolic. You'll make more muscle tissue, drive your metabolism, your bones will be healthier, and you will generally burn more calories throughout the day, providing that we get this right. So the reason I wanted to start with the nighttime rather than the morning is if your cortisol levels are really high in the nighttime, they're probably going to have crashed by the morning, which is part of the reason why you may be getting up in the morning and feeling like you hate every morning and you haven't slept well and you're really, really struggling. It takes you time to get up. So I was talking to a member this morning and it reminded me of a client that I actually had many years ago when I worked over a different health club over at Liverpool Street. And what both of them sort of struggle with is that they will work long hours, like most of you do working in the city. You go home, It might be 6, 7, 8 o'clock in the evening by the time you finish work. You've then got your commute home, which is hard enough as it is because there are so many people cramming on trains. You get home, you want to have a little bit of a life. You maybe have a bit of dinner, whether it be a case that you cook it from scratch, you buy a healthy sort of ready meal, or you get a takeout, whatever it might be. That's not the issue for today. What we're looking at is the fact you're going to get in, you're going to sit down, and you're probably going to have your lights on. Like it is where I am now, it's very bright lights here in the gym. And you probably have all your lights turned on at home. You turn the TV on, you get this bright blue-based light shining onto your skin and into your eyes. Now, as far as your brain's concerned, locked inside your skull, it can't actually peek out and say, what's the time? It's going to have to rely upon signals coming from the rest of your body. So as your eyes and your skin are telling you the sun's up. It's really, really bright, it's the middle of the day. So your brain is like, okay, we need to keep everything going because for some reason it's still 12 o'clock in the afternoon. Then it's a case of you watch the 10 o'clock news, or you're watching a movie or something like that, your favorite sitcom, to try and make you feel a little bit more human after that hard day in the office. And what you end up then doing is when that's finished, 10:30, 11, maybe 11:30 in the evening, you turn the lights off. And your eyes and your skin go to your brain, hey, it's night time to go to sleep. And your brain's kind of panicking because its deadline has been rushed forward. Think about with you with work, if you're working to deadlines, if your boss suddenly said, oh, by the way, that project you had 2 months to do is due in next week. All hell's gonna break loose. And your brain kind of sort of panics, and it then struggles to release all the neural receptors that it needs to actually prepare you for sleep. So the first then hour or so that you're actually asleep, your brain and body aren't actually doing the processes that it should be doing. So you actually then end up getting probably an hour to 2 hours less sleep anyway. You then wake up in the morning and you have a really horrible, startling noise which scares living daylights out of you and isn't really the best way for you to wake up. So guys, what I found really effective with clients that I've worked with over the years is when you're getting ready, when you come home from work, if you live anywhere above sort of ground or first floor and you're happy with having your curtains open in your living room or your dining room, have them open. That way, the natural light coming in is going to bounce off your skin, your eyes are going to see it, and they're going to detect these changes in light levels and tell your brain it's time to get ready to go to sleep in the next few hours. It will take a couple of hours for your brain and your body to actually move from its day processes into its night process. Unfortunately, the body doesn't work with the snap of the finger. I know, it'd be great if it did, wouldn't it? So what we want to try and do is we want to try and work with those natural systems, with this circadian rhythm. So by having the curtains open and our body picking up these signals, it's going to start to prepare. You won't necessarily pick up on it to begin with. You won't notice between 7 o'clock and 7:30 the change in light levels, but your brain will. And all of a sudden it will be 9 o'clock and you'll think to yourself, oh, it's got dark outside. And you're actually then a lot better prepared, both mentally and physiologically ready for sleep, for those rest and those repair cycles that our body's going to do. So I've had clients do this, or if you are lower down, you don't want to have your curtains open for the world to see in. Perhaps you've got another building across the road and you don't want them looking in. By no means, have the curtains closed. Rather than having your main light on, have a side lamp. Have something that's a lower wattage. It's going to be a lot softer with light. And that way, again, the room's going to be a lower light intensity, and it's going to have the same sort of effect that your body thinks that it is later in the day, like it actually is, and it's, you're not going to have this bright light stimulating your body to be awake. You'll start to sleep, and then when you go to get to bed at 10:30, 11 o'clock, you're already feeling a little bit tired. For most people, that will work really, really well. So guys, that's us looking at the circadian rhythm. So one of the important things to think about this is how the lifestyle that we lead can have an effect on the way that our biochemistry works. It's a lot about getting this natural rhythm that we actually want, getting this circadian rhythm high in the morning for cortisol, low in the evening, high with your growth hormone in the evening. If we can get those levels right, a lot of the time you'll be happier, you'll be sleeping better, and you'll be more alert and therefore more productive in your day. If you're more productive in your day, you can give more in your training session, and you will get more. You get more from your training in the gym, from your classes, your workouts, whatever you do, and therefore you'll get better results. So guys, as always, if you've got anything you want to say about the video, please, by all means, do hit me up. I know last week it was a case of that in my rush to get everything done, I forgot to put the links for Twitter and Facebook and Instagram, etc. at the bottom. I'll try and make sure I do that today. Alternatively, say hi in the class. This is week number 2. If you've got anything you want me to talk about, please do let me know, and I will do my best to try and get it out there. Guys, take care, and I will see you in classes, and I will see you next week. Bye.